Alright, welcome back and happy Tuesday. This is Total OS Today, Total Technology for Beginners and Beyond. How are you? Okay, so right now it is officially 4:10. For those of you who are watching this on the replay, if you wish to fast forward this about 5 minutes, we'll get started at about 4:15 p.m. here local time, here in the state of Ohio. I'd originally had this scheduled for tomorrow as an open chat, but my schedule changed, and I will not be doing anything tomorrow or Thursday. The next one may be Friday evening. Yeah, it's disappointing I can't do these full time. I think we would have a much more engaging community. Not that it's not engaging as it is, but anyway, maybe one day with your help. All right. Let's take a look here. Johan, did you get my donation? Johan, I don't think I did. Let me check it again. Thank you, by the way. Matthias, how are you, my Swedish friend? You know what? One of these days, Matthias, I will do a stream just for you. An open chat you can join. We keep missing each other. I know we're not on the same time zone, obviously. Let's see. I have 3 for today. Thank you for all your support through PayPal, by the way. Alright, it is not that one. Let me check the other one. It is not that one. I do not see it, Johan. Yeah, I don't see it. Kyrie, welcome. Benjamin Eldridge, welcome. Snazzy Butterfly, how are you? Music, once again, is from the YouTube audio library, of course. Matthias, actually, no. Kyrie says Linux Mint 19.1 is the best distro for 2018. Okay. Well, you know what? That would not be a bad choice. Different sides of the globe, literally. Yeah, I know, my friend. I promise I will, just for you, because I know you've been a long-time supporter of the channel. I'll do one just for you. Would be weird because you got notification. You know what? I may have accidentally deleted that page from my inbox on Thunderbird Mail. But if you got a notification, then chances are it went through, Johan. So, you know what? Don't worry about it. Yeah. I am, well as one could be when unemployed. I hear you, my friend. Yeah, with the government shutdown, partial government shutdown here in the United States, there's a lot of people hurting. A lot of people, well, some of the unemployed workers are going through GoFundMe, and I may have to help them out a little bit. It's wrong what's going on here in the States. Digital Zero Entity, greeting Alan Pope, Mr. Ubuntu himself from the UK. Alan, I am so glad you're on. Everybody, please say hello to Alan Pope, one of my good friends from across the pond. Alan will have to catch up with another podcast. Alan, you may be impressed to know that I reinstalled Ubuntu 18.10 on one of my test machines. And you know what? I don't use it every day, but it is stable. And I'll give Ubuntu credit for what they do. They don't usually release junk, at least none that I've seen recently. And I'll give the team credit. That team includes Alan Pope, so thank you. This Windows user says thank you. So everybody, please say hello to Alan Pope. Alright, so I got my pages set up here. I will get started here in a minute, and we'll get started at 4:15. It's bedtime for you. Okay, Johan, thank you for stopping by. You can replay this. I'll actually edit this and have this available as a free downloadable podcast the next day or two. Just check the link below in the show notes when it's done. It'll be from the archive.org. You can just search Total OS Today Live. If you wish, the download is free. And thank you for all your support, Johan. Let's go ahead and transition here. Get my pages up. Alright, very good. If somebody new is watching this, I'm running Ubuntu Mate. And yeah, it just works. Of course, OBS screencaster as you see here. So, all right, it is officially 4:15. So let's get started. Welcome all, and these are my top 10 picks for Linux for 2018. A couple things here. These are not in any particular order. I mean, these are not listed by rank. Meaning is that my number 1 is not the number 1, as or number 10 is not the number 10. And another thing I wanted to say, I left Ubuntu Mate out of the list. You guys already know Ubuntu Mate or Ubuntu Mate is my favorite, so we're going to keep that out of the list because that's a personal favorite. So I will not include this one in the top 10. And one last thing, this is by no means a complete list. Obviously, I think there are more than 10 solid distros. And in Linux, and that says a lot for Linux, that has come a long, long way since my first date with Ubuntu back in 2006. So again, this is not a complete list, and these are not by any rank. So I'll go through these as quickly as I can, and then we'll go into your comments here. So let's get started. Well, I suppose no Linux list would be complete without putting Arch Linux on it. You know what? I haven't installed pure Arch, as it were. I've tested Arch based. I have not had good luck with it. But you know, for those of you who are looking to be power users or want complete control over your system, you have to put Arch Linux on any top 10 list, right? So that is on my list for the one of the top 10 Linux based systems for 2018, Arch Linux. Now, one thing about Arch, if you wanted to try this, and if you are a newbie, please read all the documentation first. You may want to try installing friendlier desktop environments such as Arch-based XFCE desktop environment or Mate or something like that. That being said, but if you are a newbie, I probably would not. In fact, I know for sure, don't do this as your first choice for Linux because you'll probably get stuck, something will break, and you'll say that Linux sucks, and that would not be a fair statement. And I believe Arch has been around since the 90s, if I am not mistaken. You have to put, number 2, I have to put Debian on my list. This also is one of the oldest Linux distributions out there. Again, also, I believe it's also from the 90s. I've tested this as a full install. I've installed the Mate desktop environment, GNOME, and something else. Obviously, Mate is my favorite. This one here, there are 3 branches, of course: stable, testing, and unstable, right? So something like this, if you are a newbie wanted to try this might be a little bit easier. From the stable branch, you have to read the documentation. It's probably not as difficult as Arch, but I've tested the stable branch and it is quite stable. Downside is the software might be a little bit outdated, but if you want stability, it probably doesn't get any more stable than this, as it were. So yeah, Debian can't go wrong as far as the stable branch goes, in my opinion. Alright, somebody in the chat mentioned Linux Mint. Yeah, it's on my list. Pick any one of them. Cinnamon, Mate, XFCE. I believe there is a Debian edition. I would not make that for newbies. I've tested all the editions here. I currently have, what do I have? Mate edition installed on one ThinkPad. Cinnamon on the other, both testing. They're both fine. You know, Linux Mint, since their inception 2008, I think it's 2008. Yeah, they release when ready, not on a set schedule. So it's good stuff. I mean, that's all I'm going to say about it. Whether you are new or not new and want looking for a distribution that you can usually trust, if not always trust, or a bunch of team members that you can trust, you really cannot go wrong with Linux Mint. A perfect choice for beginners also. Well, keeping on the Mint theme, I'd have to include Peppermint, of course. This is a brainchild of some of the previous members from Linux Mint. You guys may recall I did a test of this last year in an old ThinkPad. Alan Pope, since you're the ThinkPad master, last year I did a live stream in an old ThinkPad that had Windows XP with less than a gig of RAM. Not recommended you do that, and I was able to successfully live stream on that Fred Flintstone ThinkPad with Peppermint. I was impressed. Now, I did not hook up a webcam because obviously it would suck up more RAM. It has less than a gig of RAM, but this worked and it was stable. Wasn't as smooth as I liked, but hey, you know, less than a gig of RAM, what do you want, right? So, kudos to the team at Peppermint. Okay, where are we here? Number 5, I guess. I've tested OpenSUSE, Susie. I think it's OpenSUSE before. They have a rolling release and a non-rolling release. What is it? Tumbleweed is rolling. Leap is the regular release. Yeah, what is this? This is the, it's been a while. This is what, the KDE desktop environment by default. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. You know what? I liked what I saw. Very nice looking KDE desktop from OpenSUSE. If I had to pick another KDE desktop I've liked in the past, maybe Netrunner. But yeah, OpenSUSE has a lot to offer. Probably not for newbies the last time I tested it, but definitely looks like a polished distribution, so check out OpenSUSE. Alright, another one for beginners, I'd have to go with Zorin OS. After Ubuntu in 06, I went for, what did I try? Linux Mint, then I went to Zorin. Yeah, it's for newbies or wanting something that looks like Windows. It's not Windows, but if you want something that at least looks familiar like Windows, Zorin OS is pretty solid. I prefer the Lite, the Zorin OS Lite. You have several choices when downloading Zorin. Again, they release when ready and not on a set schedule, so check out Zorin. MX Linux. This is also a favorite among the community. I've tested this before. It looks pretty solid to me. This, I believe, is based off the stable branch, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, it just works. From what I saw, it's easy to use. It just works. Again, off the stable branch, so you should not have any issues with this. As far as rolling releases go that I've personally installed and tested, I've only had a good luck with one, and that would be PC Linux OS. This is somewhat of the forgotten Linux operating system. We don't often talk about this, if ever. They have a KDE Desktop Mate and community releases. This, I believe, is based off, this uses, I believe, RPM packages, if I am not mistaken. You know what, I had this installed on one of my ThinkPads a year or so ago, and it just worked. I didn't have any issues with stability. As far as rolling releases go, it just worked. They have a really nice control center, if I recall. So, yeah, if you wanted to try a rolling release that's not Arch-based, check it out. If you're in the market or in the need for speed, Antics Linux absolutely flies. I did a full install on this on the ThinkPad with 2 gig of RAM. It flew. Web pages seem to open twice as fast, especially heavy web pages like CNN or something like that. And Antics Linux, ANTIX, yeah, I mean, this is, if you're looking for speed and you're a little bit more advanced in the usage of Linux, definitely check out Antics. In terms of pure speed, it absolutely flies. And of course, I have to complete my list with Ubuntu. You just have to. They started off with the GNOME or the GNOME 2 desktop environment back when I started with Linux back in 06. They went to Unity, one of the finest desktops I've ever tested. They went to GNOME 3 or GNOME Shell or whatever you want to call it. You know what? It's not my favorite desktop environment, but I have to give them credit. It looks snazzy. It looks polished. It's stable. It works. All of the apps that I install, it works. Like I said, I have this installed in my my Toshiba. laptop, and you know what? It's not the zippiest, but it just works. So, and it looks pretty sharp. Now, something like this, I will say this about Ubuntu. If you are a beginner, if you can get the extensions you need to make this user-friendly, if you can get those installed successfully without breaking the system, absolutely I would recommend this as a top choice for beginners. If you can install the extensions that you would need to make this a little bit more user-friendly. I was able to install panel to dash, or no, dash to panel, something like that. Alan, you may know more about some extensions, but I was able to successfully install that and the media player integration in the panel. So those two extensions are really all that I needed, and it did not break the system. You know what? If you have 4 gigs of RAM, you may want to try this. If you have less than 4 gigs, then I would go with what I use, Ubuntu Mate. I mean, I have more than 4 gigs. I just like Ubuntu Mate. But if you have an older machine that doesn't have 4 gigs, like say 2 gigs, Ubuntu Mate is the one to go. Linux Mint, Antics. But if you have 4 gigs of RAM, dual core, this should run fine. I know because I am testing it that way. And you know what? It just works. It looks polished. Based on my test, I installed Synaptic, a few snap packages, the tweak tool, 2 extensions. I installed 3. The third one didn't work. Yeah, there's a few others I wish I could have installed. It doesn't come to me right now. But you know what? I'll give them credit. I installed Ubuntu 18.10, and I'll probably upgrade to the next version, 19.04, since that is more of a testing machine. But if you want what is arguably the most well-known and most popular Linux-based operating system in the world, you know, even though GNOME Shell is not my favorite DE desktop environment, you really can't go wrong with Ubuntu. There's a lot of work that goes into this distribution, and I have to give credit where credit is due. That is my top 10 list. I'm sure I missed a few that you guys may like other than this, but I wanted to keep it at top 10. I did leave my favorite out of this. As you know, Ubuntu Mate is my personal favorite. Let's go to the notes here, or rather to the chat. Dash to panel or dash to dock? Okay. Yeah, it's I think I had I have to go back what I installed actually. Digital Entity. Yeah, it's one of those. And what I did, I put the panel on the left to the top. So everything is at the top in that install. Manjaro Linux with GNOME Desktop, they have installed many tweaks and they've done a wonderful job. I did not have good luck with Manjaro in the past, so that's why I no longer use it. But if it works, hey, use what works, right? Antics is sweet for old boxes. Yeah, okay, Mugen. Yeah. It's rolling. I believe PC Linux OS is rolling, right? Doesn't Zorin have that scary EULA? I don't think so. You like XFCE? Very good. There's a person who did an hour-long video of the entire Arch install explaining the order it is done and why it is done. Very good. One of these days, maybe I'll take a look at it. Kodachi Linux is... No, that was not on my list. Benjamin, you finally got your second HD in the ThinkPad to mount. Ah, had to move your home folder and figure out how to mount it all. Okay, was it pain, but you got it done? Very good. Did they change the way the start menu looks? There's a few options for start menu. Which distro would be that? Oh, Ubuntu 18.10? Okay. And Digital Entity says Ubuntu 18.10 is not crashing. Very good. Yeah, I don't recall it a single crashing for me. I installed it as a dual boot. And what I did in that machine, I went into Windows 10. I just partition some free space to install Ubuntu 18.10. That's more of an advanced user type of install. If you are a newbie, I would not partition, do custom partitioning in Linux if you are a newbie to Linux. But that's what I did. I allotted like 100 gigs for Ubuntu 18.10 and used the free space. All I did was two partitions, swap partition, and then the mount, the /. That's all that I did, and it works fine. Switch to Linux. Everybody say hello to Tom. How are you, Switch? Switch, are you still on your Linux Mint Cinnamon for your production machine? Oh, it was Ubuntu Mate, Snazzy? Okay. Mukin says it's a southern thing. It's pronounced sweet. So you're from the south, Mukin? You like the southern thing? Or do you eat some grits down there? Well, I like the southern bells. They're awfully cute. The long flowing hair and the wind. Alright, enough of that. Switch, what do you think of the top 10 picks real quick? I know you test a lot on the VM, but I had Arch, Debian, Linux, Peppermint, OpenSUSE, Zorin, MX Linux, PC Linux, Antics, and Ubuntu on my top 10 list. What say you? Always stay on Linux Mint Cinnamon. Very good. Yeah, I had to include Arch because you have to put Arch in the top 10 Linux list, right? Even though I don't use it. Debian Stable is terrific. Of course, Linux Mint you use. Peppermint, great lightweight system. OpenSUSE, stable KDE in 2 versions. Zorin for beginners I have to put on there. MX Linux for Debian Stable. And once again, PC Linux OS is the forgotten Linux that works as far as rolling distros. Antics Linux for speed. And of course, I'd have to put Ubuntu, regular Ubuntu on there as my top 10. Solus, okay, yeah, that could have been another choice, sure. Maybe Elementary is quite stable, even though that's more of a lockdown system. But yeah, I wanted to keep it top 10. I didn't put Ubuntu Mate because you guys already know what I like, so. Yeah, I did not put Manjaro. Arch-based, I have not had good luck with Arch-based such as that. And I have been told that the only way to truly experience the power of Arch is to install regular Arch, and then add a desktop environment to it. That's probably true. At least that's what I've been told. But maybe one of these days, when I have the guts to do it on a separate machine, I may just do that. So yeah. Xturn. Isn't that the one that was kind of weird? Weird OS? I don't know, I can't remember. Is that the one with the unusual EULA user agreement? Maybe. Let me turn on the ticker news feed reader and see what pops up. Again, if you missed any part of this, you can replay this at the I started this 5 minutes. I started the topic 5 minutes after I started this stream. I'll have this available as a podcast download on the archive.org if you want to take it with you. I am some awesome is in the house. Hello. Oh, Deepin was the one with the bad EULA. Got it. Okay. All right. Yeah, I will probably never use Deepin. I tried using it twice. It was awful. So, no more. There was a lot of news. I wish I was there coming out of the Las Vegas show. The Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. A lot of news flowing out of there. If I was still in the corporate world, I would be there, but I am not, and that's one of the bad things about not being in that environment again. Those LG roll-up TVs look pretty slick. I will have to say that, but yeah. There was something today on the news. Microsoft is teaming with Kroger's to compete with Amazon. Boy, there's a headline you just don't see every day. Yeah. Steve Gunik, welcome. Let's see what we have here. 7 best games available on the Snap Store from OMG Ubuntu. I'll check that out. Those of you coming in late to the stream, welcome. Again, if you missed any of this, you can replay it. Or if you want, wait till I have the time to transcode it into an MP3 file. You can download it as a podcast if you wish. I don't know what I will test next. I may go searching for another obscure Linux distro just to check it out. I might do that. It's been a while. Ten's Linux, T-E-N-S. Don't think I've heard of that one. I guess the next Ubuntu release will have built-in support for Android. Did I read correctly? That would be cool. We actually have a Kroger just down the road here, a Kroger grocery store. Temple OS or nothing. Interesting. Have you tested it out, Snazzy? I will probably wrap this up here shortly so I can have my dinner. If we have anybody new watching, and if you would like to say hello, please do stop by and say hello. The GS Connect feature, that might be it. If that connects Android application, yes, and then that would be it. Suicide OS. I think I'll pass on that. I'll go with the more friendly user names, right? Oh man. Ubuntu for the win. Well done. That was on my list. Oh, here's a headline. U.S. retail giant Sears may get reprieve from liquidation. Does anybody shop at Sears anymore? I would love to if we had a Sears. I used to shop there. How are you, Don? It's not even Linux based, Snazzy? Okay. Made by a literal crazy person. Of course, Alan says agreed to Don. Well, you know what? It's the Ubuntu gnome is starting to grow on me, Alan. Yeah, it's like I said, it looks pretty sharp. I'll give you guys credit. Any new release of snaps that we should know about, Alan? I know you are one of the snap people out there in the Ubuntu kingdom. And any new snaps I should know about that you want to share with us? Hello, Ben Fitz. How are you, Ben Fitzpatrick? Sears closed their switch. Yeah, man, we've lost a lot. We've lost Sears, Kmart over the years, Radio Shack, Circuit City. I mean, the mall is, I think there's 3 stores left in our mall. One of them is JCPenney. Moonlight Snap. Alan, what is Moonlight? I'm not familiar with that. Ah, lets you stream games from a Windows machine with which has an NVIDIA GPU. Very good. What's better, snaps or flat packs? For me, Alan, maybe you can chime in. I think we've talked about this. I've had better luck with snaps. I'm doing well, thanks, Don. Matthias says, "Oh snap! You fell flat on your pack. You fell on that pack? Oh man, it must hurt." Alan, I noticed there's still no snap for Kden Live on Kden Live's website. There's just what is it? The app image, right? I think. I mean, it works fine as an app image. There's a Sears Hardware, a Sears clinging to an old mall. The mall is famous for being creepy. Hard to say. They both have advantages. Alan, snap and flat. Yeah, that's what flats and snaps. Yeah, that's what I've read. Snaps seem to work for me. I believe Linux Mint has built-in support for that, and I believe Ubuntu, of course, are snaps. There are way more snaps. Okay. Yeah, I thought I noticed that a few months ago. Yeah. Ben, you prefer Gentoo? Oh, where's Tim's frying pan? Ding. I've installed a few snaps here and there. Have not had issues. They just work. So yeah, I think what did I install as a snap? Spotify, Skype. Kden Live was an app image. Maybe one more. Not too many. Yeah. Any Ubuntu distro works with snaps? Alan, would that be true? Does it work well with any Ubuntu distro? Who doesn't like snaps? Well, I like snaps because they work. That sounds like a cookie, Matthias. Now you're making me hungry. You want some snap chips or something like that? Hi Heather, I'm on the day. Yeah, daytime. I actually had this scheduled as an open chat for tomorrow, but my schedule has changed. So yeah, this is a closed chat. I wish I could do this full time, maybe one day, because I think we could have fun doing this 5 days a week, and getting the community from other time zones, getting people involved more. But anyway, so I'm doing this now. Apple Market is a subsidiary of Kroger. Oh, really? Okay. Alan, overseas, what are the big department stores? Do you guys have a version, like your own version of Sears, by the way, or yeah, something like that? Who delivers my goods? I buy my goods at Kroger's grocery store, Mugen. You like snaps better than PPAs because Debian can actually use them. Okay. Yeah, Matthias says your snaps like in a shot of vodka. Oh, those are called snaps there in Scandinavia. Aha. I knew you was up to something, Matthias. You're the sneaky Swedish one. I know you. By the way, Matthias, I got an email back from our good friend Stephanie. She's back in Germany. She apologizes for not doing another podcast or another show with us. Hopefully next time she's in the States, so we can get together and have another surprise concert for you guys. So just to let you know, she was home for the holidays, and yeah, she's back in Germany doing her thing. I think she'll be back on her regular schedule in 2 weeks, next week. Probably posting weekly updates on YouTube, so check it out. You deliver Kroger products. Very good. Yeah, Kroger is within walking distance, Mugen. I'm actually waiting for their new Linux section there near the pharmacy, because you can use Linux, and when you go nuts, you can take the drugs. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So, oh man. Yeah, sneaky, sneaky, sweet. That's right, Matthias. I know you guys. Anyway, I will tell her hi. Yes. Yeah, we kind of missed her, didn't we? We had tentatively had scheduled another surprise show, but you know, she was home from family, and she wasn't home that long, and she works in Germany, and you know how it goes. So yeah, but I promise, once she comes back, if we can get our schedules to match, we'll have another show. Heather likes MX and flat packs. Very good. Yugi, what are you using now? Ah, duh. Peppermint OS. Very good. That was on my list. Really? I'm looking at the ticker feed. Okay, Huawei has suspected ties to front companies in Iran and Syria. Well, duh. Of course they do. Really? Huawei? Wow. But like you crazy Italians, we don't put horses' heads in in our beds. Well, you know, sometimes we feel a little lonely, you know. We need that. I know, Matthias, I know. Do you guys think that it's possible to have a stable Arch system that isn't? No, I don't think it is. Not with pure Arch, no. Cutting edge software, you will get cut, in my opinion. Affordable HD webcams and mics. Logitech 920. In fact, I would check both, the webcam and the mic. Check the Logitech. You should be able to get them both for less than $100. Easy, Benjamin. Yeah, one of these days I need to upgrade to a better DSLR camera. But for now, stick with Logitech. Matthias says we just pillage and plunder like the Vikings. So you're not any better than quote-unquote the family. But you save your horses, right? Yeah. Oh, man. You still using Sparky Linux? Oh, okay. All right, very good. That's right. Italians have cannolis, and we're very proud of them. See, we always gravitate towards food, right? Alan, anything else, any late-breaking news you can share for us for the next Ubuntu 19.04 release? Are you allowed to spill the beans, as it were? Elon Musk is tweeting about a stainless steel starship. Why not? Billionaires have strange minds, don't they? Yeah. Debian distros seem to be the best, but you can't use them as your newer hardware hates the older kernels. Ah, okay. That can happen. Cannoli is an Italian pastry, Heather, yeah. No beans to spill. It's all out in the open. Oh, okay. All right. I mean, you're the insider. You're the Wall Street Ubuntu insider, Alan. So I had to ask. You know. Some good performance fixes being contributed to upstream known by the. Oh, very good. Maybe a little bit less RAM usage. That would be nice. Contrary to the story, some people tell you that we don't contribute upstream. Oh, we don't comment. I'll be the official corporate person. We don't comment on rumors, right? Well, that's good. I'm always for better performance. Ubuntu 18.10 just does feel a little bit faster, Alan, than 18.04. Not much. I still would like to get the RAM usage down, but yeah, I mean, I have that machine in my garage when I'm washing the car, cleaning the car. I'll fire that up and play my music, and it just works. Yeah. The car Elon sent to space still has footage live rolling. Really? Why not? Yeah. What did he send into space? A Ferrari or I forget what it was. Maybe he should have sent a Chevy into space because that's where it belongs, right? Or a Chrysler. Anyway. Fake live footage from Starman. Oh, okay. I don't know. There was a thing on was it on History Channel or something about Elon Musk and trying to get test footage of his rockets. It was actually very impressive from what I saw. Yeah. Of course, their next big step is sending people to Mars. That's right, the Tesla Roadster. What else? That's right. Thank you. His own car. Okay. He sent the Tesla. Hello, Joel. How are you? 63 Corvette. Little red Corvette. Alright, heads up. I'm going to wrap this up here at 5 p.m. local. Again, if you missed any of this, you can replay it. Or if you want to wait, I'll transcode this into a podcast so you can download the audio file either today or tomorrow. Just come back to this video below in the show notes. Paul Sear, hey! How are you? You're at work? I wanted to... Oh, Paul, you are a dedicated viewer. Thank you, Paul. Have you backed up your data today? I did not because I did it this past weekend, but that's right. That's right. I should start all my... I keep forgetting. Welcome. Have you backed up your data today? I have, my friend. Thank you for asking. Yeah, cannolis, there used to be a pizza shop in the mall that they moved out that occasionally would have cannolis. And hey, pizza and cannolis, that's the perfect meal, right? Am I a dog or a cat? I like both. I used to have 2 cats when I lived in Florida. Yeah. Carrie, got a new computer. Been nice to catch your stream. Well, thank you, Matthias. I'm glad I could catch you. Sorry this was a closed chat. Next one, next time or sometime in the future, I'll have an open chat during the day, during the week, so you can jump on and we can chat face to face. Yeah, face to face. See what I'm saying there? Yeah. And no horses' heads. Okay there, Paulie? Yeah. Thank you for stopping by, Matthias, and thank you for your support. It's greatly appreciated. Have a great evening, Paul. Yeah. Tim is sent me an email. He's busy the next couple of weeks. I think he said he's moving or something. So yeah, we may not see him for a couple of weeks. But I will tell him you said hello. Joel, oh, you like Manjaro? Manjaro was not on my list, although Arch was on my list for top 10. Yeah. Had Arch, and then I had as far as rolling distros, I like PC Linux OSU also, so yeah. Well, happy new year to you, Alan. You are absolutely allowed to say that. Yeah, I am not that much politically correct, as it were. Yeah, but yeah, we'll have to get together one of these Sunday mornings, Alan, and do another catch-up podcast. Yeah. You really like Amigas, Joel, don't you? I don't know what my next computer will be when I buy one, when I get one. I don't know yet. Anyway. All right, 5-minute warning. I'm going to wrap this up at 5 p.m. local so I can go start my dinner. Doesn't Manjaro always board computers with updates? That's the problem I had a couple years ago. I am so awesome. Yeah, the updates... Actually, they stopped working. That's right, Alan. Yeah, get a ThinkPad. Yes. Alan, look, I have several of them. You're starting a ThinkPad museum in the UK. They just work, man, and they love Linux. Yeah, so yeah, absolutely, it makes sense. Maybe Amigas will make a comeback. Amiga OS, great, it only runs on Core, so you have to use Linux on Amiga 1, X1000, 12, 22, 5000 to use the cores of the PowerPC, okay? What is up with Heathrow? Drone sighting halts departures. Looking at the ticker feed. Man, they're going to have to do something with those drones. Hyundai shows off walking car at CES. Say what? Huh. The concept car has wheels on robotic legs which can unfold in rough terrain. Oh, like a transformer. Cool. Like I said, there is a lot of cool stuff coming out of CES. I wish I was there. I'll have to check that out. Hyundai's walking car. Great when you have lots of potholes, right? All-in-one PC. I really don't know. Yeah. Kyrie, yeah. Yeah, I remember with Manjaro, I had an issue with updates, and that's when I just stopped. I was tired of fixing puzzles, as it were, solving puzzles. So yeah. Lenovo Yoga Book. Nah, I don't think I'll buy. Honestly, looking at my next machine will probably be just a regular desktop. Yeah. Come back and say groovy music. Yes, music is from the YouTube audio library. The artist is obviously not me, I just labeled it TOS, but yeah, check out the YouTube audio library. Free to download and use, perfectly legal. Yes, I did. Did I see the attack on self-driving cars in Arizona? People are attacking the cars. Yes, I did. Must be the heat in Arizona there. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I guess they wanted to make a statement. So I don't know what's going on there. Here, about 30 miles away, Pittsburgh, there's a testing facility for self-driving cars. I have not been to it. I saw it on the History Channel or something like that, but yeah. Hello, Dobry, how are you? Joel is a Russia, long live Russia, comrade. Viva la Putin. Oh, you must be putting me on, comrade. Anyway. Alright, last call for comments. Again, I want to thank everybody for stopping by for this unannounced stream. Again, I had this scheduled for tomorrow, but my schedule changed. So, thank you for stopping by. Always great to chat with you guys, as it were. Again, if you missed any of this, you can replay it. Well, thank you. I am so awesome 7478. Ice Station Zebra. Wasn't that a movie? I think so. Anyway. I think after my dinner, I think I'll just chill for this evening. Maybe run out and get a cup of coffee. Do you know that McDonald's has the best coffee of all the places? I think because they sell so much, it's always fresh. Maybe that's what I've yet to have a bad cup of coffee at McDonald's. Of all, who would have thunk it, right? Yeah. I actually need to call Comcast. My bill went up. Uh-oh. Give them a call. Sorry, Clive. Hi and bye. Why is Putin angry when on the phone? He doesn't like to be put in hold. Ha 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 ha. Good one, Matthias. Yes. That wasn't. I just caught a new Chuck Norris joke. You remember the Dirty Harry movie when Dirty Harry has the 44 Magnum pointing at the bad guy? Do you feel lucky? Chuck Norris would reply, "Yes, I do feel lucky." Snaps and cheers to you, Steve. Cut the cord. I can't. I needed to do these live streams, Joel. Yeah, I gotta have a cord. The pros and cons of self-driving. I think we've talked about briefly before, but I will make a note of that, Paul. We can certainly do a show on that. Sure. There's a lot of legal issues too about that, but yeah, that would be a pretty good topic. Sure. Self-driving cars. Yeah. Anyway, do we have nicer McD? Well, we have one here that's fairly newer built, Steve. Yeah. So. Coffee is life. I'm sure that's what Starbucks says, right? All right. Well, I'm going to have my dinner first and maybe some coffee. So thank you, everyone. I'll catch you on the next one sometime again. If you missed any of this, you can replay it. Check out the links below in the show notes. You can support the work that we do here with PayPal, Patreon, coffee, Amazon. Anyway, thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. And I will catch you sometime in the future. So, arrivederci.